At 3 a.m., my neighbor knocked on the door holding a bucket of chicken. When I opened, she smiled and said, "I've come for Jacob. He belongs with me." My 6-year-old son stood beside her, looking dazed. That's when I realized, this wasn't just a weird neighbor. This was something way darker. Hey Reddit, I didn't think I'd ever end up here, but this whole saga feels like it came straight from some bad drama movie. Buckle up, this is long. Like, popcorn long. For some context, I'm a 34-year-old single dad, raising my 6-year-old son, Jacob, on my own. His mom, my high school sweetheart, passed away due to complications during childbirth. It was a brutal loss, one that left me navigating grief and fatherhood simultaneously from day one. Jacob's my world, his toothy grin, his endless questions about dinosaurs, his habit of sneaking into my bed during thunderstorms. He's the light of my life. Every choice I make is for him, to give him the safe, happy childhood he deserves. We recently moved to a new neighborhood, a quiet suburban street lined with tidy lawns and old oak trees. It's the kind of place where kids ride bikes until dusk and neighbors wave from porches. I thought it'd be perfect for Jacob, a place where he could grow up with a sense of community, maybe make some lifelong friends. The house was a fixer-upper, but it had a big backyard, and I could already picture Jacob running around it, chasing fireflies on summer nights. Enter EM, entitled mother, as I now call her, a woman in her mid-40s who lives 2 houses down. I met her on move-in day. She showed up at my door with a plate of warm chocolate chip cookies, her smile bright and welcoming. She introduced herself as a former elementary school teacher with a daughter in college. Her hair was neatly bobbed, and she wore a floral cardigan that screamed suburban mom. I thought, great, a wholesome neighbor. Maybe this place will feel like home. That illusion lasted about a week. EM started coming over almost daily. At first, it seemed neighborly. She'd bring over extra fruit from her garden, offer to babysit Jacob if I needed a break, or drop off little toys for him, like plastic dinosaurs or Hot Wheels cars. Jacob loved the attention, and I didn't think much of it. But then her visits got intense. She'd linger too long, watching Jacob play with an odd, wistful look. She started calling herself Auntie EM, without my permission, and it made my skin crawl. I'd catch her asking invasive questions, Jacob's bedtime, his favorite foods, his allergies, even what shampoo I used on his curly brown hair. I started keeping our conversations short, citing work or errands, but she'd just smile and say, "I'll stop by later." One afternoon, while I was grilling burgers in the backyard, she let herself in through the side gate. I hadn't invited her, but there she was, kneeling beside Jacob, asking him about his toy T-Rex. I politely asked her to leave, saying we were having family time. She laughed it off, but her eyes had this strange glint, like she was sizing me up. Then she dropped a bombshell. Over coffee one morning, she'd shown up uninvited again. She said Jacob reminded her of her son. I was confused. She'd only ever mentioned her college-aged daughter. When I asked, her face softened into this eerie, sad smile. "He passed a few years ago," she said quietly. "Jacob looks exactly like him." My stomach twisted. I'm not heartless. I felt awful for her loss. Losing a child is unimaginable. But the way she looked at Jacob, like he was some kind of reincarnation, set off every alarm in my head. I told her I was sorry, but firmly said Jacob wasn't her son. I thought that'd be the end of it. I was wrong. EM started, accidentally, bumping into us everywhere. The park where Jacob played soccer, the grocery store where I bought his favorite cereal, the library where we read dinosaur books. Once or twice, I chalked it up to coincidence. Small neighborhood, right? But by the 5th time, I wasn't buying it. She'd wave enthusiastically, her voice syrupy sweet, but her eyes locked onto Jacob like he was the only person in the world. I started avoiding her, taking different routes, keeping Jacob close. Then came the incident that changed everything. It was a sunny Sunday morning. I was in the backyard, knee-deep in dirt, building a raised garden bed for vegetables, something I'd hoped Jacob and I could do together. He was nearby, sprawled in the grass, racing his toy cars. I realized we were out of lemonade, so I ran inside for literally 2 minutes to grab a pitcher from the fridge. I left the back door open, thinking nothing of it. When I came back, Jacob was gone. My heart stopped. The backyard was empty. No Jacob, no toy cars, just the hum of cicadas. I shouted his name, my voice cracking as I scanned the yard. I checked the shed, the side gate, the front yard. Nothing. Panic clawed at my chest. My hands shook as I fumbled for my phone to call 911. That's when I saw her. EM was in her front yard, holding Jacob's hand, chatting to him like it was the most normal thing in the world. My legs carried me across the street before I could think. "What the hell are you doing?" I yelled, snatching Jacob's hand. He looked confused, not scared, which only made me angrier. EM blinked at me, her face a mask of innocence. "Oh, I just wanted to spend some time with him," she said. "He came to me willingly." "Willingly? He's 6. I was shaking, my voice low and furious. "You don't take my son without my permission. Ever." She tilted her head, her smile unnervingly calm. "You don't understand," she said. "We're meant to be a family. I feel it." The words hit like a punch. I grabbed Jacob, stormed home, and ordered security cameras that night. Sleep didn't come easy. Every creak in the house made me jump, picturing her sneaking in. Update 1, 1 week later. Things got worse. I went to the police the next day and filed a report. The officer was sympathetic but said there wasn't much they could do since no crime had been committed. Jacob was unharmed, and EM claimed he'd wandered into her yard. They logged the complaint and suggested a restraining order if she escalated further. I nodded, hoping it wouldn't come to that. 4 days later, it did. I was washing dishes when my doorbell rang. 2 police officers stood there with EM, her face etched with fake concern. She told them I was abusing Jacob, claimed she saw bruises on his arms, he had none, that I left him alone for hours, I never did, and that I screamed at him every night, complete lies. My jaw dropped. This woman was trying to destroy my life. I stayed calm, invited the officers inside, and showed them my security footage, clear evidence of Jacob safe and happy, playing in the house and yard. I let them talk to Jacob, who was sprawled on the living room floor with his dinosaur toys. He looked up, grinning, and asked if they liked T-Rexes. The officers smiled, clearly charmed. They reviewed my side of the story, apologized for the trouble, and left me with a family lawyer's number. "You might need this," one said. I filed for a temporary restraining order the next day, my hands still shaking as I signed the papers. Update 2, 1 month later. The restraining order hearing was yesterday. I brought everything. Camera footage, timestamps, the police report, screenshots of EM's texts. Things like, "I'm here for Jacob if you ever can't handle it." Creepy as hell in hindsight. EM showed up to court in all black, like she was mourning something. She rambled to the judge about how the universe sent Jacob to her, and that she was destined to protect him. Her voice trembled with conviction, her hands clasped tightly, as if praying. The judge wasn't having it. He called her behavior delusional and coercive, granting me a 2-year restraining order. EM can't come within 500 feet of us or contact us in any way. Violation means arrest. Her face crumpled, part shock, part rage, and I felt a chill watching her. My lawyer suggested a civil harassment case, and I'm considering it. I just want her gone from our lives. Final update, 3 months later. We moved. It kills me that we had to leave. The house was supposed to be our fresh start, a place for Jacob to grow up happy. But after EM's stunts, I couldn't shake the fear. What if I'd been inside a minute longer that day? What if she'd taken him somewhere? The thought made my blood run cold. I found a new place an hour away, closer to my parents. It's a cozy ranch-style home in a quiet town with a top-rated school district. Jacob's thriving, joined a soccer club, made friends, and loves showing off his bicycle tricks. He has no clue how close things got to disaster, and I'll keep it that way. He deserves to feel safe. I'm sleeping better now, though I still check the cameras every night, a habit I'm trying to break. My parents visit often, and their support has been a lifeline. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that politeness doesn't work with crazy. Trust your gut, protect your family, and never ignore red flags, no matter how many cookies someone brings.